Ladies and gentlemen, you are on another episode of Touch a Nerve with DJ Crenshaw and
King Swerve.
What's up, man?
What's happening?
So today we're going to talk about motion. What is motion? How you can give, advice to somebody who's trying to get on to have some motion, But I know you got them facts first. Go on, hit them with it.
Yeah, we got a couple of facts, man. Now, when it comes to motion, there's different types of motion. Now, physical motion refers to the change in the object's position over time. It can be described by various parameters like distance, displacement, speed, and velocity. In a nutshell, motion is essentially the movement of an object from one place to another. Now, the Generation Z and Generation Alpha description is someone who can make money, someone who has major riz or can flirt, or is an admirable human. Regardless of the context, the assumption is someone has motion, that they're a good person, or they're doing great things.
That's some facts of having motion, shawty. Shit. So, man, tell me about how your motion got started. When did you figure out you had that drive in you?
Well, man, when it come to motion, I had to realize exactly what motion was. And, a lot of people think because of popularity that they have an extreme amount of motion. But I started to realize that being well known or popular didn't generate any money unless I put some action behind that popularity or that notoriety. So in other words, getting 100 likes on Facebook, getting a lot of views, I thought was motion. I thought just having my name ringing in certain areas was motion. But all that was popularity. And popularity is popularity. You know what I'm saying? But real motion is what you bring to the table other than just being known. How can you generate off of that popularity? What does that popularity do for you then other than someone knowing who you are?
Right. So what kind of value do you bring to the table? That's what motion, that's yeah. It's all about having that motion, man.
Yeah.
So, man, how do you increase your value when you bring, how do I really word that right? If you want to increase your value in your grind, how can you help someone else have motion too? If that question makes sense.
Well, I mean, it make perfect sense, because what I get out of that is that a person that really takes value in motion realize that there can be more motion in a conjunction or a partnership. And there was times that I realized, hey, I can draw, you can do animation, maybe we can put our minds together and make something better than what either one of us is doing. And when it comes to motion, you got to realize that the grind, the vision is a lot bigger than you are. And a lot of people get lost thinking I'm bigger than the grind. I'm bigger than the mission. And that's when it gets lost in the sauce. Lost in the sauce.
That's facts. Man, so can you tell me about the last time you bounced back after you've, lost some motion? How'd you bounce back?
And see, that's the thing. You really can't lose motion. That's an illusion. There's been times that I wasn't moving as fast as I wanted to. And I talk a lot about the influence of social media because that's the world we live in today.
Right.
Everything is influenced or moved by some type of electronic movement. But there's been times that I saw on Facebook or some type of entity like that, someone making progress before me, or someone involved in something that I felt like, hey, I'm doing the same thing. But you got to realize that there's a lot of things that go into that. There's a lot of factors that move into what type of progress you make. And so you have to you have to take advantage of every opportunity when it comes to motion.
Right. Right.
Because you can get lost and stuck in this area when all your motion is over here. You know what I'm saying?
And I gotta say this too. Like I said, this topic of discussion is about motion. Don't let what me and my man's over here talk about our motion belittle your motion. Because it might sound like a whole lot of bragging, but it's really about helping you, the viewer, have motion too, and how we can also help each other, level up. That's what it's all about, leveling up. I don't want to feel like you're more little than what we are, because we all just trying to grind and get by. You know what I mean? So I had to say that.
And with that being said, the popularity thing I was talking about. We live in a world today that a regular job is not considered having motion. We live in a world that you have to have a podcast. You got to be selling clothes on the side. You have to be doing all these different entities to be considered having motion. When I know several people that work a regular job, and that regular job generates enough motion to sustain them. So it's all about the area of life you're trying to achieve.
That's facts.
The direction you want to go in. Are you moving in that direction? The general description of motion is movement.
Right.
An object staying consecutively in a line, whether it's fast, slow, whatever. So you can't be confused thinking because I'm not moving as fast as Ryan, I can't do what Swerve is doing, I don't have motion. Motion is you moving in the direction you want to go in.
That's facts. And moving forward, it's all about just leveling up your mind, your frequency, every level, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, because you might not have it all financially, but if you have it, if you're right in the right place mentally and you're right in the right place emotionally, it's going to come to you eventually financially, because you got the right energy on the inside. So that energy is going to keep on increasing. So
speaking on energy, a lot
everything.
of your motion, you have to be passionate. You got to have some type of passion in order to maintain movement. It's all about knowing who you are, knowing what you want to achieve. Knowing the people around you is extremely important in keeping your motion going. And that's what I was talking about when I brought up earlier when I was talking about the relationships. Because a lot of things that I do now is because of you, and vice versa. When you're moving in the same direction, it's easy to conjoin with someone else. That's why I can't really understand when I see someone withholding information, when I see someone withholding resources. Like, how is that going to stop your motion by putting a stumbling block in someone else's? When you never know, by them moving forward, they may bring you with them. It's all about knowing your circle and knowing that we're all moving together with the same mission.
Like, man, like these hoodies right here, that's a good example. I'm gonna be honest, when I first started, I was doubting Swerve. I was doubting myself. Swerve was like, man, you need to get some merch made. I was like, man, people ain't gonna like it. People ain't gonna buy it. This merch right here. Got some made. I got some made. Man, they sold out within a whole night. I got 15 sold out. Sold out that fast. 4 hours. Sold out.
But see, you had a vision of what you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
You stayed on the course. Regardless of what anybody else told you, you did what was passionate to you. You did what you wanted to do, and the end result was what you got.
And that's where putting faith in your grind comes into play. You got to put faith in your grind and just stay consistent. Just keep on staying consistent, working on yourself. Not doing what everybody else is doing. That's part of having motion. Doing what you want to do. Not following what everybody else is doing. If everybody else is popping pills, drinking alcohol, that don't mean you got to go pop it too and drink it yeah, don't do that. That's the best advice I can give you. You don't got to do what everybody else is doing.
And I mean,
drink some water.
Eat
some cake. It'll be all right.
Yeah, Sweet Tooth Crenshaw, we know you got you got a cabinet full of cakes, cookies, pantries, and all type of shit.
Hey, look, if you want me to DJ a function for you and you got some cakes, cookies, and pies, everybody else might be over there drinking, Coronas and, doing what they do. But hey, you gonna see me on the side eating some brownies, eating some cookies.
But see, that's the type of motion you on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody know the Sweet Tooth Crenshaw gonna come with some sweet beats, some sweet treats. You know what I'm saying? Smile. You know that. And I'm laughing and joking, but realistically, that is a part of your motion.
Yeah.
Your energy.
Yeah.
That's a part of your aura. In order for you to keep getting the contracts, keep getting, the venues, people want your energy.
Mm-hmm.
You have to sell that. And it's really easy to do when you're just being authentic to yourself. That's what I meant earlier when I said being true to what you're doing. Know what you want to do in your future. Staying on the path to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great example of that. You wouldn't be where you were, where you are, or where you want to go if you didn't stay on the road.
That's facts. That's facts. So, man, at this time, I'm going to do something different on the show. I'm going to call a good friend of mine, Big Rich from Tulsa. He's going to tell y'all about his motion. What's up, Big Rich? How you doing?
What's up, boo?
Man, so tell the people about your motion out there around Oklahoma, around the United States.
About my motion?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it depends on what you define motion as, man. So, like, give me a clarification before I, say the wrong thing. So, like, let me know what you mean by that.
Clarity on motion about your grind, about your about all that.
See, I asked you that because, like, really, I don't really look at, what I do is motion, bro. I just put my head down and I go, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I leave it to other people. Like, I just try to elevate myself as a DJ and do things that other people ain't doing. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody see that and, feel like it's motion, you know what I'm saying? I guess you can clarify it as that. I appreciate you for recognizing the grind and actually asking for my opinion on it, because if you didn't, then you wouldn't feel like I had some kind of motion going on to even explain it. So that's kudos, appreciate you for even looking at what I'm doing as motion. But yeah, bro, I just like to stay busy, bro. I say stay busy, and the way I get to where I'm at, doing what I'm doing is I don't get comfortable, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even if I get to a point where it's like I look like I got a lot of motion, I gotta do more because it can go away tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's a hella DJ Crenshaws, you know what I'm saying, in the cut, doing, you know, getting their motion up. They can, you know, you know, pop out and go crazy. People forget about your motion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just like to stay consistent, bro. That's my thing.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, that's how I keep the so-called motion going for myself, is to keep working, bro, and don't get comfortable and don't let nobody, like, I don't really watch too many people. Like, I don't really watch other DJs and, you know, stuff like that. Like, so I don't get myself caught up in what other people are doing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just watch who I interact with. Like, I see all your stuff, Crenshaw, because, you know, we interacted, and now since we interacted, it's hard not to see you. You got a podcast going, you know, the spots, and you know, you out of town with it. You know, I guess the quote unquote motion people is that, like, what you doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, even what I'm doing, like, what you doing is motion, bro. Like, traveling and, you know, taking your talents away from the local scene and constantly doing that. That's motion, bro. Like, for real, for real.
I appreciate that, man. I do. I appreciate that.
No, for sure, bro. I see the elevation for sure.
Well, all right, man. I appreciate you tapping in with me.
Man, I appreciate you having me on your platform, bro. I'm gonna tell you this before I get up off of here, bro. Man, I'm proud of what you're doing, bro. I see the grind. I'm gonna tell you this too, bro. Just cause, you know, you not on the events that you want to be on here or wherever, don't mean you ain't booming, bro. Cause I feel like, you know, doing these podcasts and these shows you're doing, bro, that's booming to me. That's booming to me. And I say that because I do the same thing, and I don't see nobody else consistently doing it in that lane. And I feel like you on the way to being like one of them top, you know, one of them top streaming, you know,
that says a lot. I appreciate that.
Or reviewers out here. And so, yeah, bro, I appreciate your motion. And hey, I'm proud of you, G.
I love to hear that, man. That mean a lot. It mean a whole lot.
No, for sure. I got you, bro. I'm always keeping 100.
All right, man. I'm gonna tap in with you later on.
All right, my boy.
All right. And that was Big Rich coming from Tulsa. It's one of my business partners, man. I've been looking up to that dude for years. So that meant a lot to hear that from him.
Man, I still remember the day you first met him.
Yep. At Rabbit Hole.
At Rabbit Hole. And, you know, just the aura that he had. And, I mean, I knew who Big Rich was, but I didn't know who Big Rich was. Like, I was going to a lot of his events. The whole time I'm in there jamming, like, man, DJ lit. Not knowing, you know, I just moved here, so I didn't know who he was. I met him the same night, you know, you introduced me to him. And ever since then, I just saw, you know, a level that was of his own.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just like, dang, you know, I see where you started at. I see where he's at. I see where he's at. I see where you are now. And just like he said, I just saw the continuance in both of you guys. Because, I mean, the whole DJ scene, music scene, I've been around all of that. But it was a whole new world being on the other side, on the inside, seeing it somewhat from a DJ's perspective. And, man, you know, the grind that you guys had, the path that you guys had is admirable. Because, you know, no matter what you're doing, just like Big Rich said, man, 100% true. You have to stay on your grind, is what I saw. Because it's so easy, just like I said earlier, the whole social media deal, man, you can get lost in that and completely forget the road you was on. Because now you're trying to meet all of these expectations. And now all of that motion you had, you lost it trying to be good enough in someone else's eyes. So when you true to what you're doing, man, you gonna make progress. Fast, slow, it's gonna move. So all you gotta do is stay on your grind. Stay consistent, stay on your grind every single day.
That's it. That's it.
So, if you could give some type of advice as far as, because dog, I know I got to the point to where I don't like to call them,
I just like the sound.
we gonna call it situations. I know you've run into situations. I know you run into difficult people on your way. How did you stay consistent with all of the hatred you had coming from outside, inside, all of that? How do you continue your motion with all of the stumbling blocks?
I love that question because with them stumbling blocks are also stepping stones.
That's why I didn't call them problems. I started to say it's a problem, but a lot of those stumbling blocks did seem like they would elevate you at sometimes. So how did you continue to elevate with those stumbling blocks in your way?
With those challenges that came my way that tried to stop me, and with those people that tried to stop me, the words they said, the actions they did, I just sit back, reflected on who I wanted to be and where I was at. And that's what I locked in on. I kept on working on myself. I blocked out what wasn't for me, and who left and who stopped doing what they was doing, who switched their energy on me. I stopped dwelling on that, and I just kept on loving myself and kept on working on me. That's all I kept on doing.
So when it comes to your motion, how did you evolve to continue on that road? Like, I know it's some things you had to leave.
Yeah.
I know it's some people that couldn't go.
Yeah.
It's all type of things you had to change. What kept you on that road like that?
Those people that I had to leave, those people I had to leave, boy. And it's quite a few that are getting left behind, that have been left behind. And how I kept elevating was I just moved on. You just gotta move on. That's the best way I can put it. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt to move on, but that's just what you gotta do. If you wanna grow yourself and you don't wanna stay where they are, not doing anything, just keep on taking from you. You just gotta move on, or you will end up with nothing. You'll end up having nothing.
And see, I'm gonna add on to that, because just like you said, one thing I've noticed when it comes to that, at the end of the day, it's your life. At the end of the day, it's your life. And, you know, we always use the comparison when it comes to age and things like that, which I've experienced a little more. And with my experience when it comes to the motion, there were some times that I lost motion because I lost concentration on what I really wanted. And at the end of the day, when I got back on track, I realized who was there. But the funny thing about it, not only did I realize who was there, I realized why they was there and why they would never leave. So at the end of the day, a lot of people forget their way because they don't want to lose certain people. Like, look at all these entertainers, all these rappers. That's the first thing they whole hood say. Now that you made it, we all on. But, you know, there was a lot of times you might have been on that block by yourself, in that jail cell, by yourself, you know, trying to make it. Once you made it, those people returned. So at the end of the day, you got to realize part of your motion are the people that are behind you while the ball is rolling. And sometimes when it's not rolling as fast.
Yeah.
Because when that ball stops, the people that really want to be there, the people that really need to be there, are going to be the ones behind you. Pick that ball up, bro. Pick that ball up. You know what? I saw your ball deflated. I got you a new one. The people that really need to be in your corner, that's a part of your movement, are going to be there regardless. So don't focus so much on who you're toting with you.
Yeah.
Because the people that's going to be there are going to be there. Just be more into the mission, the end result. Because realistically, a lot of people will not make it to the end result.
That's facts.
And that is a hurtful fact. Because a lot of people, we want to be there, but realistically, that's just how life is.
I love Chris Rich.
Because we all know, we all got a little cousin Pookie who just, cousin Pookie just, he gonna pull up to the family function, come out auntie's car. He might have some one of the flyest fits on when he walk in the house, but he ain't gonna have a lick of, he ain't gonna have no dollars in his pocket. He gonna be asking to smoke your weed or whatever else. Yeah, I don't even smoke weed. He gonna be asking, hey man, can I get 75 cents to smoke a cigarette? Hey man, can I borrow $1? Go get me a little drink from the stove.
Yeah.
Can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? Man, can I borrow your charger? Where your charger at? Oh man, I ain't got one. I left it at my baby mama house. Oh man, me and my baby mama got into it.
Yeah.
Then he gonna be asking, hey man, can I borrow I need a pair of socks, man. He be like, man, well, damn. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
You gotta stay. Sometimes you gotta leave cousin Pookie behind too. You might love him, but you gotta leave him behind because they just ain't doing nothing with their life. They damn near over 40-something years old. Ain't doing much of nothing. Hey, bye. Love you, Pookie.
Yeah. So yeah, staying in alignment.
You gotta stay in alignment with you.
You gotta stay in alignment.
If you want to have over, all them dollars in your pocket, you got to be around people that also got dollars in their pocket. Because if you are the only one at the dinner table paying for the food and everybody around the table ain't got no money, yeah.
Whoa. That's where I'm gonna stop you on. That's where shout out to the boy D here. This is where we gonna debate.
Let's go.
We gonna debate on this one. Cause see, there were times to where my mind was worth more than my ass. There was times to where my mind or my talents made me money when I didn't have a dime. There was times when people that had money needed a person that had lesser. So I can't necessarily say I can't hang with somebody that got less than me. That's one thing a lot of people need to stop doing. Because I've learned from drug addicts. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, I'm not going to talk to that crackhead because he's a crackhead.
Yeah.
I've learned more from some crackheads than someone ain't never touched a drug in their life.
That's facts.
The thing with me is having the right mind state.
That's it.
You know, are we on the same road? Can we do business together? Can we have motion together? Are you on the same level as me mentally? Is more important to me than what you physically or financially have.
That's facts.
Because you can miss a lot of opportunities from a person that has more or less. You know, I can't say a person that's never been on drugs can tell me I need to stop smoking weed. That person that ain't never done drugs can tell me a lot because they ain't never touched it. You know what I'm saying? But then again, that person that all they do is smoke weed can tell me what's happened to him just smoking weed. You know, it's all about my mind, their mind, and can we mix together?
Cause man, I'll tell you what, you know them little crackheads that be riding them bikes
They smart,
in
bro.
the middle of the night. You know what I mean?
They smart. How you think they putting the motors?
They sound like little weed eaters.
Thank you. You
I be looking at them crackheads like, damn, I want one of them.
How many shade tree mechanics I've had come fix my car when I done took it to the shop and they was fucking it up.
Yep.
So you know, it's all about your mind state. Where you trying to go? What you trying to do? And can we do it together? Your value, the value of your mind. How much are you worth without that money? Because you know what? You can take me anywhere in the world And I done been a lot of places, and I done been Swerve everywhere I went, because Swerve is gonna do what Swerve do and make it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you get a lot of people that they cannot leave their area. I used to work for a millionaire out there on. Anyway, I used to work for this millionaire guy, you know what I'm saying? And we would have a lot of deep conversations. And this is how I've always made it to middle management, higher management, whatever, because I'm not afraid to speak my mind and be myself. I don't give a fuck how much money you got. I don't care how little money you got. I'm going to respect you, and we're going to talk as men, man to woman, man to teenager, whatever you are, I'm going to respect that, and we can be on that level. But anyway, I was talking to this millionaire person, and he was telling me how he did not like the area he was in, how he wanted to relocate, but he felt like he could not make it. And I'm like, why you can't make it and you a millionaire? He was like, well, I have this relationship with this person, this relationship with this person. If I was to move without these relationships, I can't make it. So I'm thinking to myself, you don't have enough motion on your own as a millionaire to make it without people that ain't. That opened my mind and my eyes to a lot. For one, it opened my eyes to how boxed in a millionaire is. Like, you got all this money, you can't make it without us. But at the same time, it showed me the value of an entity that you need. So it's all about making yourself valuable is what keeps motion going. Yourself. Money losing value every day. Y'all need to stop thinking money is motion. Because the most popular people, what?
They
got the most money.
Yeah.
I hear all the time, I don't like such and such, but that motherfucker got a clean ass car though.
Yeah.
I hear women all the time, I can't stand such and such, but as soon as he come in, say, man, you think you can get me a Swerve at the bar? Yeah, I got my own drink. So like,
It's hidden.
so like, you know, motion and money goes hand in hand, true enough. But why do people think without the money you have no motion? Why people think, once again, working a regular job, providing for your family on a 9 to 5, why is that not motion? You see all the time the viral videos, some guy, you know, been working at McDonald's 30 years and woo. And, you know, he done took care of his whole family and retired from McDonald's. It's people out here selling dope, ain't got a car. And y'all think that this man going to work every day ain't got as much motion as you because you got a Ferragamo belt on.
Boy.
Is that real motion?
Man,
That's popularity. That's not motion. And see, I find myself getting stuck on that because, you know, I had to accept the fact that I am more known than I would like to be.
What you known for?
I'm not, I ain't gonna say I'm popular, but a lot of people know me and I don't know them. So you can take that how you want. But at the same time, you know, I realize that just because a lot of people know me, that's not putting money in my pocket.
Y'all just know us because y'all watching Touch a Nerve in them groups. It's all right.
You know,
Turn it up louder.
I can do a lot of different things, but that does not make me have motion because I can do a lot of different things. A lot of those things are sitting in the cabinet getting webs on them. Why? Because I realized that there's no motion in that simply because I have talent in it. Just because you're talented and can't do something doesn't mean that that's the lane for you. And that's why I say you have to stay true to what's true to you and not what everybody else like and trying to be popular, thinking popularity is motion. A smart person can take their popularity and turn it into motion. But popularity itself is not motion.
I hope y'all taking notes, because my boy over here dropping gems on
I'm
me.
just saying, because you can take this into different areas of your life, and you can take it into a relationship, and you see a lot of men and women on social media, they're chased. They're chased because of a like. They see a lot of people like them. A lot of people just like their pictures or whatever. And for some reason, we get this idea that this person is more than what they are. And then so many times we end up dating a person or something like that. Then we find out, bro, man, I was talking to this chick. You know, the one get 300 something likes, man, she crazy.
Frisbee.
Or you hear women saying the same thing. Girl, I thought he was all of that. And then I got with him and find out that, he this and that and that. It's because that was fake motion.
Brokey.
That was popularity.
Brokies and Frisbees.
You know what I'm saying? And it really disgusts me the most that a person selling drugs would be respected because of the money he has, and the person that goes to work every day, they gonna look at him like he's a scrub because he don't have what a drug dealer got. Like, that motherfucker's supposed to have more than me. I don't feel bad you come up shining on me in your fancy vehicle when you selling drugs to get it. So, when it comes to motion, you got to realize that, hey, what's real and what isn't. You can't be delusional about it. And a lot of people get lost in what's popular and they think that's real motion and it isn't. What do you think about that?
Well, them whatchamacallits messing with them gangsters, them fake gangsters selling them whatever you want to sell. They ain't no motion. They ain't got no real motion out there. Cause you put them in, y'all moved to a whole new city. They ain't gonna be able to sell what they was selling back home in the same city they always been in. You can go out there to LA and try to sell some old whatchamacallit. No. You gonna have to go get a real job, 9 to 5. Both of y'all. And yeah, make it work.
But you know what they say, drugs sell themselves. So I don't really, anybody can sell drugs. All you gotta know is people that want it. It takes a real man, a real woman to get up every day and grind the hard way for what you want.
Go fill out that application, get you a job, Don't be taking change out your family's change jar, because it ain't gonna get you nowhere. I'm just saying.
Shots. Yeah.
I'm just saying. We touching nerves. That's the name of the show. Touching nerves.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. And when it comes to touching nerves and when it comes to facts, facts of the matter is, man, it don't matter how you feel when it comes to being consistent. Because one of my biggest problems today is losing focus sometimes. Because we live in a world full of distractions. We live in a world full of temporary, I don't know how to put it, but we get temporary satisfaction out of things. And that, again, we feel like it's motion. Living in a moment, staying consistent, like, Big Rich said earlier on on his phone call. You can't get lost in what other people want, people pleasing. You got to stay on your mission. At the end of the day, you might be on that mission by yourself, but at the end of the day, it's your life. It's your life, it's your mission, it's your goals. So when it comes to motion, it's all about how you perceive your own progress, not anybody else's.
Important part.
If you're happy with the motion you got, if you're happy with the movement you're making, how fast you're making it, where you're going, then you're on your way. You're well on your way. The problem with that is stopping motion. That's the only problem. When you're not happy, when you're stagnant, not making any type of movement, maybe even going backwards, that's what we don't want to do. As we like to call it where I come from, hustling backwards. Can't be hustling backwards.
Man.
Because that's no motion.
That's, yeah. Can't do it. So anyway, man, take another phone call from KO. KO, what's up?
Artistry goes, and it's one of them situations where, like, a lot of people think they got motion. Once they get into, it's like a fish in a small pond, Once you realize how big, the spectrum is, you're dealing with multiple different, lanes and multiple different ways, multiple different ponds. It's way bigger things going on than what most people go through. So it's like one of them situations, like when you're dealing with motion, never get the big head, you never can have enough of it. You gotta keep grinding, you gotta keep going for it, you know what I'm saying? And just keep doing what you do. Simple as that, My advice to everybody out there that think they got motion, go test your motion out in a different market. Go find a different city, a different target market, and see if the people know you. And see what type of motion you got over there. I got motion out through Oklahoma. I got motion through Kansas, Missouri. But I'm still picking up people myself. Texas, I'm connected all around. Multiple spots. But never stop. Never ever think that people meet people every day. You feel me?
Right.
So multiple ways to do it, man. I tell every artist, like I said, man, keep grinding, man. Stay humble. And you can never have too much motion. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get the money. The money and the motion go together. Promise you. Whether it's selling merch, getting booked on something, whatever. That's how you start generating that money, is when you got real motion. When a person can look at you and see the value and what you bring to the table without bringing something to the table. That's when you're starting to do something. You got a little motion going. But like I said, you can never have enough.
That's facts. Well, shoot, KO, man, I appreciate you tapping in with me.
Yeah, man, like I said, man, it's PPC KO, man. Mr. Local Legend himself, man. Like I said, man, hey, tap in with me, man. Anybody out there looking to work, looking to grind, wanting to put on your own show, you tired of looking at everybody doing their own parties and shows, and it's time for you to think it's your turn to shine, man, I'll give you a chance, man. Holler at me, man. Let's put something together, And if you ain't got your own merchandise and you're an artist, you're leaving 75% of the funds on the table. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where you're going to make your biggest margin of money. You know what I'm saying? It's with your own collection of merchandise, not somebody else selling your stuff or letting the computer do it for you. I mean, that's cool, but I'm going to tell you, real money, real motion has been made off of people in their own, ways of doing it. That's a major way of doing it. Like I said, I had too much time. I had to get on here and hop on with my boy real quick, man. We're gonna definitely do some more, chopping it up, man. So anybody that don't know me, hopefully bro can put my, info on the screen or something, so y'all can get to know who you're talking to. Because I promise you, I'm one of them people you need to know when it comes to this right here. You feel me? Keep doing what you're doing, bro. Man, I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud that you kept stuck to the grind, still doing what you do. You feel me?
Appreciate
man, it's hard to keep it going. Like I tell people, it's one thing to do something once. It's okay. Sometimes people can do it twice. Very rare that you see people that keep rolling with the motion and keep it going. You feel me? Man, I've been seeing y'all boys grinding, man. Shout out to y'all doing y'all thing. Cause y'all ain't stopped. It don't look like you're stopping. You feel me? So like I said, man, keep going, keep grinding, and tap in.
All right, appreciate that, man.
CKO, I'm out.
And that was the homie KO from Tulsa. You heard what he said. Artists, if you want to put on a show, holla at them. So, yeah. Anything else you want to add to that?
Man, shout out to both you guys for your interviews. Man, I appreciate the love. Man, I've been watching you guys. You guys been doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the man, all the love you've been showing to us. It's reciprocated. I hope you know that.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
Shoot, man. I think we gave him pretty much all the advice we got on motion. If y'all ain't figured it out by now, you just, I don't know what else to tell you.
Gotta stay rolling.
Got to stay consistent. Got to stay loving yourself. And stay away from Pookie, who ain't doing nothing. And that's it. Simple. Love you. That was Touch a Nerve with DJ Crenshaw.
King Swerve.
Good looking fella over here, you know. We out.